I don't really know how to start this video. My head's just kind of empty, and I'm just tired. And unlike the past couple weeks, I did not have time to go and I had time, but I didn't go and do notes. So this is all just gonna be going off of my head. But they do call me the highway specialist. That's what I'm known as now. Because as I mentioned in the last video, I had a close call on the highway, and then it kind of made me think, like, am I in the right? And so I kind of looked into it, and by looked into it, I mean I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me, no, you're fucking stupid. And I was like, oh. And like, you know when an AI tells you that you're fucking stupid? That something, like, you really, you did not do something good. Or they found a way to make money by telling you that. But like, basically, when I would leave the place where I get therapy, the only, like, real option I have, like, technically it's like I go back the way I came, but it doesn't really work because, like, where it comes out, it's like you have to, like, you have to do a left turn over, like, 4 lanes of traffic, which is not happening. And so it's like the only other option is to go straight on the highway. So it's like, oh boy, we're going on the highway. So what I've been doing is I would go and I would just stay in the shoulder, because it's like it's not far to the exit. Like, I could just stay in the shoulder, go to the exit. And then what happened last week is, also, it's probably gonna get pretty dark. Not much I can do about that. I'll go back to why I had to pick this spot a little later. But basically, there was a guy and he was, like, sticking out a little bit into the shoulder, trying to, like, merge on the highway from there. And I was driving in the shoulder, and this guy's, like, sticking out, and so I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta, like, swerve over a little bit. So I, like, swerved over, and I was, like, still in the shoulder, but it was, like, very close to, like, the shoulder, and there was another guy. And I was like, that was a little close for comfort. And I was like, I kind of don't want to go on the highway again. And knowing that it's, like, at least seemingly it's kind of my fault. I don't know if it's actually my fault, to be honest. Like, I would assume it's probably not great to stay in the shoulder, but also, it's also, like, it's not very far, so I don't know. But today, when I went, oh my god, it's getting really dark. Holy shit. You know, I might have to do this. That's a little better. A little bit better. We'll roll with that for this video. But so what I did this time, I was gonna sit in, kind of lane, wait for my opportunity to merge. And then a guy came up behind me and I was like, I don't want to sit here for 10 minutes. This guy's just like, dude, you fucking kidding me? Just go, bro. Just go. So I said, fuck it. I think it's way easier because, like, it's hard to merge going from a place and then the shoulder and then the lane. And then, like, the like, rightmost lane. It's kind of hard to merge from there. So I was like, I'm just going to go in the shoulder and I'll just find my fucking gap to merge. And I did that, and I did it, and I was like, fucking go, bro. I did it. And it's like, it's not the first time I've done that. Like, I've had to actually drive on the highway before, but, like, this was kind of, I don't know. Like, I was always so afraid to merge before, and now I merged, and I was just like, I did it. And I got off that highway, and I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And, so yeah, that happened. That's why they call me the highway specialist. Just don't ask me anything else about the highway, because there's like 80% of the things about the highway I don't know yet. I haven't driven enough on the highway yet. But there's like a way I could have, like, potentially avoided the highway if I wanted to. But I was like, dude, I have to learn this eventually, right? So I went for it, and I was a little nervous doing it, but I did it, and we're good. We're good. I'm the highway specialist now. That's why they call me the highway specialist. But anyways, now that that's done, I may or may not be in the same spot as usual, because basically that spot, I like that spot because it's a little isolated. It's like not super, like there are people that like, there's like a walking path nearby, and so like people are kind of like in the vicinity of being able to hear me. But it's also kind of nice because there's not that many people, and it's nice because there's a lot of spots too. So it's like if one spot gets taken, it's like, I mean, there's a bunch of spots. The downside is it kind of says permit parking required or permit parking only. I don't know, I have a permit to park there because it's like for, I guess, you know, like commuters or some shit, whatever, right? Something like that. So like technically I'm not supposed to park there. Usually like no cops give a fuck or anything. And I don't even really see any cops going down the street anyway. But I went down there today. There was a cop. And I was like, I feel like if I if I record here, I am probably gonna get a fucking ticket or something, or like a warning or something. And, you know, I was like, it's probably not the best idea. So I decided to come here. And as you can tell, the lighting is a little worse. Not great. There's like no street lights over here. Like the next street light is like up there, and I'm not going over there. So, this is the best you're getting. I mean, I could do this, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. So, yeah, you're just gonna get the fucking dark version of me, I guess. I don't know. I look like in one of those documentaries where, you know, like they get the guy and like they like make it dark so you can't see him, but you can like see his silhouette. And he's like, yeah, you know, the NSA, they were, you know, spying on people that were watching the Smurfs or some shit. Like some whistleblower or some shit. That's what I look like right now. So anyways, yeah, it was a weird week, because basically, so we just got done with, you know, our one dog having her eye explode and everything. And then, we had another dog, and she was like breathing heavy, and it was kind of getting a little concerning. And, so they took her to the vet that one day, and meanwhile, I had to go to work, because as I probably mentioned last week, I had two like 8-hour shifts before that, and then I recorded that last update on my day off, and then I had 3 more 8-hour shifts. So this week I was working like actual full 40 hours basically, which is like cut off between full-time, part-time essentially. So I was like the maximum you could be for like part-time. And I had to work with that asshole coworker, but it was not that terrible for 2 reasons. Because number one, it got real slow. New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, apparently, nobody buying food, because it turns out nobody's really doing this stuff on New Year's Day. They're doing it on New Year's Eve, so got to avoid a lot of that. And it's also just very slow the other days because, you know, nobody really needs to be out, right? But on top of that, I had 8 hours And so that means I have an extra 2 hours to do things I need to do. So I got to do like a little bit of grab and goes here and there at the start. And then I had a bunch of time to just start cleaning stuff earlier, like an hour earlier than I would be able to. And so that put me really ahead, and that meant I had enough time to finish everything and even had time to spend on the floor, because nobody really washes the floor super well, to be honest. So usually I'm the guy that washes the floor for the most part, or at least washes the floor like the best. You know, I literally spend like 30 to 40 minutes on the floor. Like, I'm not even joking. It's like, what's it called? I like sweep the floor completely, and then, I'm like blanking right now. What the hell? I sweep the floor completely, and I spray it all with soap. Like, and the soap is a pain in the ass to get out, because it just doesn't really come out. So what I've been doing is I've been like jiggling the bag and like shaking the bag like I'm fucking trying to strangle my fucking coworker or some shit. But I'm taking out all my anger on this fucking soap. But I do that. I like strangle the bag, and then eventually a bit of soap comes out, and then I like try to get the whole floor coated, and then spray some water, and then dry it all with the squeegee. So yeah, is something. But it honestly, it's, you know, it's not bad. And I had enough time to like not feel like I'm being rushed when I'm like trying to leave. So that's awesome. And apart from that, there wasn't really much else to say about that day. I mean, like, obviously that guy's being a piece of shit. Oh, well, actually, no. There was. I forgot. I almost forgot. He actually got, like, because I had a lunch break, and so I wanted to make sure I took it because he was gonna leave early. So I wanted to make sure I could take it before he was gone, right? So I went to take my lunch break. I come back, manager is in the deli, like closing manager is in the deli, and I'm like, uh-oh, why is the closing manager in the deli? And she's like talking to a customer. I'm like, oh no. He got in a fight with a customer. And they call for the manager. I don't really know the whole thing. I don't know if he was in the wrong. Like, it might have just been the customer was just being a piece of shit. Or it could have been he was being a piece of shit. Or maybe they're both pieces of shit. I don't know. But still, it's like, I left for 30 minutes and he gets in fucking in a fight with a customer. Bruh. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It was crazy. But, yeah. Son, I get home. It turns out our dog is okay. That's good, I guess. I don't know. But then we later found out that, like, that vet that we took them to, because it was, like, an emergency vet, and they were kind of just, like, seemingly bullshitting. Like, I don't actually know, but seemingly they were bullshitting, and that's at least what the actual vet that we go to said later. He was like, there's no way they could have known that without doing tests. So, like, they're lying to you. You know, they just, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they were actually lying or not, but that was apparently what was going on. Yeah. So, then, I get home, and I'm, like, having my dinner, and just having a little bit of time to relax. And then, another one of our dogs just, like, they gave him a treat, and he just, like, collapsed. And, like, he's just laying on the floor. I mean, he was, like, conscious, but he's just laying on the floor, like. And so then they had to rush him to the emergency vet. And I had to stay and watch the other dogs. And so that meant that my sleep got giga fucked because I didn't get to sleep that night till like 3 a.m. And the one good thing was that since I know that I can play Time Spinner on my MacBook, I was doing a randomizer of that. I had my controller and stuff, so that was cool. But also that randomizer is a real pain in the ass because I only had the single jump, and in order to get basically anywhere, I had to use like this ability that like makes a giant wall. And so I just had to keep doing that like over and over and over again. And like, this is so fucking tedious and annoying. That's like it's kind of cool that that's a progressive like ability, but then also it's like, dude, but it's so annoying. It's so annoying. We have to fucking get up somewhere high and like you're having to just spam that. And if you fall down, it's like you got to do it all over again. So annoying. But so, yeah, I ended up staying up till like 3 a.m. I was fucking tired. And I went to bed and then I woke up at like 11 because I wanted to make sure I got sleep. And then I had some breakfast. I showered and I went to work. And yeah. So then, I don't think there was much interesting stuff on Friday. At least from what I can remember. I don't really remember much. And then Saturday was more of the same shit with that asshole coworker. But this time I didn't have a lunch break. But still got everything done. It was all good. And then yeah. On my Sunday, what did I even do on Sunday? Like, I had trouble remembering this week. 'Cause I feel like my brain has just been fucked up. And I think a lot of it really stems from watching too much stuff. I think a lot of it really stems from that, and that was kind of a mistake. And yeah, that was a mistake. I just like my brain was like fried. And I just feel I've like felt tired like all the time. And it sucks. And I think that's a lot of where it stems from, is from just fucking watching shit before bed and just kind of like, you know, I guess seeking out like fast dopamine, which is a mistake that I shouldn't do. And I've been doing it. So like, what the hell is that blinking? What the hell is that blinking back there? Yeah. So it's like, oh, you know, I remember what I did Sunday now. Because on Sunday I recorded a video I haven't uploaded yet about kind of social awkwardness and stuff, and like a weird story I had in regards to that. And then I played Piplup Community Classic in Go, which, man, like, I thought it wasn't gonna be that bad because it was like 33 or something, or like 32. It was like barely above freezing, so it's like, it's not that bad. And it still felt really cold out here. Like, nobody was out here except for like 2 people I know, a dad and his son, that were playing. And so I traded with both of them. I did our lucky trades because we had lucky trades, both of us. And yeah, that was interesting. I got like 6 shinies, and that was kind of my community day. I didn't really care to play much more, just because I'm really tired of just playing Go, I think, to be honest with you. It's really gotten annoying, I would say. Speaking of which, I wanted to say, oh man. Speaking of which, I'm just looking at the Discord right now, because there's raid hour tonight, and they're actually calling off. They're calling off. What's it called? They're calling off the raid hour. It seems today. Because first off, people are tired because they've just been tired, and then additionally, additionally, I was like, man, what's the raid hour for this week? And I looked. It's fucking Genesect, man. I know there are some people that are like, I mean, you would think Genesect, like in the normal Pokemon, it's like, yes, Genesect. Whoa, that's so cool. Like, we barely ever get like Genesect. But released like, what, 3 times maybe? Maybe 3 times? Like, hell yeah, Genesect? In Go, Genesect is so boring and stupid. Because, number one, it's not useful pretty much at all. Like, I think maybe one of them is okay. But then that leads to number 2. There's like 5 different Genesects, right? Because there's the regular one with no drive. And then there's one for each drive. So there's 5 fucking Genesects. And they're just like, none of them are really useful. I think like maybe the water one might be useful, maybe. But like it's not useful at all. And it's just kind of whatever. You can solo it. That's like one of the only nice things about Genesect is that you can solo it like very easy. You just need like a level 50 Charizard, which Charmander is always accessible. Always. So very easy to get your hands on a good Charizard and, get it to level 50. And you just Mega Evolve it into Charizard Y. It shits on fucking Genesect easily. It's like one of the only higher tier raid bosses you can solo like pretty easily without a lot of thought put into it. But it is just boring. And what happens is when they bring back one, they bring back all of them. So, it'll be like, oh, the Burn Drive is in raids right now. The Dow's Drive is in raids like the next week. And it's just like, it just muddies the fucking raids, dude. And I hate it. And it's like one thing when it's like, they do like the Swords of Justice and it's like, okay, here's Virizion, here's Terrakion, here's Cobalion, whatever, okay. Because at least those Pokemon are interesting in their own right. And I mean, Terrakion is like one of the best fighting types that you can get, at least like normal, non-mega, non-shadow, that sort of thing. But like fucking dude, Genesect is just, I hate it, man. I really wish they would not have it be so boring, dude. Just give it something to make it at least kind of interesting, or maybe make it like a good bug type attack. I don't know, bro. Yeah. So, it seems like people are not really interested in doing the raid hour tonight, and so they're probably just gonna call off the raid hour. Nobody's gonna show up. Because, yeah, that sucks. Part of me was kind of looking forward to like, seeing people, because I haven't seen people since the week before Christmas Eve. It's the last time I went to one of those. And yeah, now we're not doing that, I guess. So that sucks. What else? I'm trying to think. I'm like drawing blanks on everything. Yeah, I mean, Sunday was mainly just I wanted to go play Go. So that was kind of a thing I did. But one other thing I did was that I finally started playing some piano, which I hadn't gotten a chance really to mess around with that piano. I like opened it. Today, that day on Sunday, I actually tried using it, and I followed along with the first GarageBand tutorial, and it was pretty okay, but it also kind of made me realize that I gotta do a little more investing into piano if I want to actually start learning, because number one, I need a sustain pedal, which they're not super expensive. Like, you can get like a good quality one for like $25 on Amazon. So, and if you want like a shittier one, it's like $10. I don't know. I might get that. We'll see. But I also realized that like I don't really have a great setup for piano. I keep like almost feeling like I'm gonna cough. Give me a second. Let me. Ugh. Like, it's like perpetually like in my throat, but it never wants to come out. I hate it. But so, I'm gonna make sure I'll try to edit that out so that you don't have to fucking hear that, because I know it kind of peaks a little bit. But anyways, other than that, I was saying my setup, it doesn't really like allow for like comfortable piano playing, because I was literally sitting in my bed with it on my lap and playing it, and it wasn't going super well. And turns out you kind of gotta have it at like the right height. That's like why they have it at the height they have it, and they have like those stools that are like, they're kind of adjustable, because you got to be at the right height, because like your forearms have to be straight when you're playing. So that kind of like messed with me a little bit. So yeah, I was enjoying playing it. I thought it was good, and it felt good to kind of like play notes and stuff. But it also made me realize it's not going to be easy to, it's not going to be easy. Hold on, oh fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Where is this thing? Let's put it not on vibrate so it stops vibrating, because I'm getting like a million Discord messages. But yeah, guess no raid hour tonight. But piano was interesting to learn, at least. I was enjoying learning it, and I want to learn it more. But I just feel like I don't have a lot of time. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I do have time, but I'm just not really meaningfully using that time. And it's a problem that I need to solve. And I think the best way to do it is to really like try to get my body used to it. And I was just talking about this with my therapist, because we were kind of talking about sleep schedules and stuff, and I was talking about how I stayed up till 3 a.m. and it kind of threw off my stuff. But I kind of always generally have a hard time with a lot of that, and especially like recently, the past couple weeks, I've been procrastinating sleep a lot. And it's also like I've been procrastinating getting out of bed too. It's just like I don't want to fucking get out of bed in the morning, And I think the two main things are, number one, I use my phone too much in the morning, I think, and I should stop doing that. And I think number two is that I'm just exhausted. So I think to solve both of those, my plan is to try and kind of create like a rhythm and really stick to it. And what my therapist said too is, she said that your body kind of like, when you tell your body, or when you like kind of get your body to adjust to that, it starts actually trying to like actually adjust to it. And it'll like, if you have like a ritual before bed, it'll start producing that melatonin, because it knows like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed and stuff like that. So I have been thinking that I really gotta start doing that, and that might be my plan. Might be my plan down the line. We'll see. But I don't know how well it's gonna go. And also another thing too is I really gotta stop watching YouTube videos, which I think I kind of want to make 2 separate videos. I wanted to make a video, number one, because I was watching a YouTube video because I found Emp Lemon's second channel just kind of randomly from that video he made where it was like, I miss when the internet had less people. And it's like a hot take because it's like, well, gatekeeping shouldn't really be a thing because, you know, it's not nice to kind of like exclude other people, right? But like on the other hand, things kind of were nice when there was less people because now it just feels like there's so much like rage baiting and you know, bullshit and people trying to make money on the internet now. Like back then it was really more for like the love of it, you know? So it was like, for example, you go on forums, it's like those people are not like trying to make money by being on the forums. They're on the forums because they care, because they want to, you know, talk about whatever particular thing, right? And now it just kind of feels like it's become so much more about like power and like money and stuff, and it's stupid. I don't get it. You know what else is stupid? Keeping your doors unlocked. Let's change that. But it was an interesting video, and then I saw like some of his other videos, and I got recommended one that was like I was like, I don't enjoy playing video games anymore. And that's, you know, a sentiment that I've kind of come to feel as well. And a lot of what he said was stuff I probably would have agreed with even years ago. But like now I find myself being like, yep, yeah. Like, you know, he's talking about you play a game and then afterwards you don't feel good. And I feel that. And, you know, just kind of how they're a waste of time and you have to put in a lot of effort. And so that's going to be for a whole separate video, I think, to kind of talk about my feelings on, like, are games really a waste of time? Because I've been thinking about that a little bit and, like, trying to kind of reason with myself, like, are video games a waste of time? Like, I mean, in theory, there are a lot of things that are good about video games, but then it's also like, I don't know. I have a hard time figuring it out. But I'm going to try to kind of, like, sit down and think about it and write about it a little bit and see what I end up with. And talk about it. And I think it'll be an interesting topic, and I think it'll probably be something people want to click on instead of like my arms hurt, you know? So we'll see. But also ties into just in general, am I wasting my time doing stuff and like feeling like you're wasting your time, you know? And particularly, I want to talk about YouTube videos in that regard. And kind of what I've realized might be the solution, which is a very interesting solution. And I think, dude, I keep feeling that cough. It's like tickling my throat like the whole time, dude. I'm gonna drink some water. How about that? Maybe that'll stop it. Who knows? But as I was saying, I feel like I've found a very interesting kind of solution potentially, and I'm excited to see if it works or not. I kind of feel like it is, but we'll see, because part of why I feel like YouTube is so hard to cut out, there was actually just one interesting video that I keep forgetting. I kind of want to watch it at some point. And it was like, it was some video. It was like I stopped watching YouTube for a month or something like that. And I was interested to see how that went. But I think part of the reason why it's so hard to kind of cut YouTube out, right? Compared to like, you know, Twitter, it's like, who gives a fuck about Twitter, right? Or Instagram, it's like, okay, just, you know, stop opening the app, right? But with YouTube, it's not just like, you can stop watching, you know, fucking Minecraft content or some shit, right? But the thing is, YouTube is bigger than that, because it's not just like, this is where you're watching Minecraft, or like, fucking porn or something, right? Like, you could just stop using, certain X rated sites, if you don't want to see that content anymore, right? But YouTube has so much stuff that it's like, okay, you don't want to watch the Minecraft content, but there's educational content, there's tutorials, there is music, right? And so for me, the educational stuff and the music stuff is stuff that's really hard to get rid of. And because YouTube knows you, they can kind of use that against you. And then, you're going, okay, I want to watch this tutorial, right? And you start watching a tutorial and you look at the recommended and there's a video that's like really interesting you. I don't know, maybe it's like some political event or some general event or like some lolcow thing or something, or some game just came out and this is like my first impressions or something like that, and it gets you. And so you start going down the rabbit hole, even though because you were supposed to be like, this is going to be my productive time. This is going to be my time. I listen to music. I watch something educational and try to learn something. And then you end up wasting time again. And I don't know if I want to spoil it or not. Yeah, I'll spoil it. Basically, my idea is there's this, one of the only extensions I use in my browser. It's called like Enhancer for YouTube or something. It's on both Firefox and Chrome. And I'll mention it in that video too. But basically, it has a thing that I remembered when I was looking. Because one of the reasons I really like using it is because you can convert shorts into like normal YouTube videos. So, it's not like cancer. So I've been doing that. But what I also saw, or what I remembered seeing in the settings, is you can disable recommended videos and you can disable comments. And I feel like those are the things that make me scroll a lot and kind of like almost infinite scroll, So I was thinking if I turn those off, maybe I'll have better results, and maybe, I'll watch what I want to watch and not be like, okay, I need to go check like the comments or something, right? Kind of rewire my brain in that way a little bit. And I don't know how to feel about it yet, but I definitely feel like it's been good so far. It does mean that I'm not going to see as many interesting videos. Because, like, for example, last night, right before I did it, I was looking at... I was looking at the recommendeds, and there was, like, this video, and it was called, like, Modern Gaming Rant, or something like that. And I ended up watching it, and I don't really entirely agree with the video, necessarily. Because he kind of talked about how, Silent Hill 2 remake, they remade, I forget what her name is, but, like, she's basically supposed to be an imagined version of, like, James's actual wife or something, and so that's why she's, like, hotter and she has less clothes on and stuff, and so they changed her or whatever. And he was talking about, like, DEI and all that. And it's like, I think maybe it's a little, maybe for me personally, that's a little too, like, kind of, I guess, I'm, like, struggling to figure out a word for it, but just kind of that, like, general sentiment, I think, is kind of, like, dumb. And it's like, I get it to a degree. And I used to be one of those people that was like, the SJWs and all that shit. But, like, I just feel like maybe I don't really even know how to put it. But just I feel like people are, like, too hung up on this idea, and they're, like, too focused on fighting, DEI and shit, to not that they don't care about, like, other things that are fucking happening in the world. I mean, it's like, it feels sort of almost like manufactured sort of bullshit, where they want you to fight about fucking DEI so you're not looking at your fucking grocery prices going up, You're sitting there fighting with some leftist online about DEI and wokeness and all this bullshit, right? And you're not noticing other things going on in the world, or just, because it keeps you online, because then it's just this constant fight against DEI and wokeness, or in terms of leftists, right? It's about bigotry and hatred and whatever, right? And so you're constantly fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and you're not realizing you've been on these fucking platforms forever, just constantly watching and talking and commenting and all this shit, and it just feeds into itself, you know? So I kind of was a little on that, and it's like, I do agree. I think they should have probably kept her original design if they were going to do that. I haven't played Silent Hill 2 or the remake, but I know the remake was, like, considered pretty good, but I do think that they probably should have, like, kept the original intention there. But I feel like sometimes it gets a little exaggerated. It's kind of like when Persona 5, in the original Persona 5, they have, like, these two, like, gay guys, and, like, they're not portrayed in, like, the greatest way, and, like, they kind of just, like, kidnap Ryuji. It's just, like, applied to, like, fucking, fucking assaulted or some shit, like, some crazy shit. And in Royal, they, like, changed it so that it's much nicer, it's a much nicer interpretation. It's still, like, the spirit of what it is still there, right? Like, these two gay guys, they fucking take Ryuji and they fucking, introduce him a world of fucking, like, I don't know, drag or some shit or whatever. Right? And it's kind of like supposed to be this funny gag or whatever. But, like, people got, like, super angry. They're like, they're censoring my Persona 5. I'm never buying this game. I'm playing the original. The original is so much better. And it's like, this is where you draw the line. This is where you draw they changed a couple lines in the game, and it's still, like, it's not, they didn't even really change it that much, and, like, you probably never even fucking remembered that, before. You didn't even remember that, and now it's all you fucking care about. Like, dude, it's crazy. But of course, people are gonna be fucking angry about that and fight about that, but it's annoying. I don't know. But either way, going back to what I was saying, I was watching that video. That it was all right. I definitely agree with some of it, right? And just that modern gaming, it isn't the same. It's not as whimsical, as it was. But maybe that's also just me growing up. I don't know. But I'll save the whole YouTube thing and the gaming thing for a future video. Talk about that in a little more detail. But other than that, let me think. I mean, yes, it's Sunday, playing piano, Pokemon Go. I caught like 6 shiny Piplups. Whoop-de-doo. I don't really care. I have 1 costume shiny Piplup and 1 regular, and then I got 6 more, so whatever, it's cool. And Monday came around, went to work. It's kind of tiring, and just like, dude, some of those customers, I mean, there's this one woman, she came the day before Thanksgiving in the morning, and she was like really fucking with us, dude. Like, we're like, that woman, she's fucking, she's crazy. Like, I genuinely, I don't think she knows where she is. When she walked into our store, I don't think she knew where she was. And she's like asking, she wants like $15 worth of smoked salmon, which smoked salmon, by the way, pain in the ass to cut, because you have to actually cut it with a knife, and you have to cut these very small, like, little bits, and there's a lot of rules, and I'm still not very good at it. I still haven't like actually cut it for a customer. She was the first time I cut it, and she wanted it thick, and then she's like, oh, that's too thick. But after telling me, like, oh yeah, that's good. And so, yeah, so that was a whole thing. But she came back again today, or on Monday. And of course she's, being fucking cuckoo again. And so, yeah, that was not fun. And just like in general, like there was a bunch of customers where it just felt like they're just like asking for the craziest things, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like there's a woman, and she's asking me if we had fresh mozzarella, and I was like, yeah, we have it in our cheese section. And she was like, no, I want it for like a sandwich. I'm like, oh, like I don't know if we have any back here. And I found out we did, and she wanted like a fresh mozzarella sandwich, which is like something I've never heard before. And like it wasn't like, okay, I want this meat on it and then like fresh mozzarella. It was like, I want fresh mozzarella and lettuce and tomato and mayo. I was like, huh? That's a thing? Like, I mean, I guess. But like I didn't really think people wanted that. I don't know. There's a lot of very like weird customers that were coming by. There's also one guy last night that was talking about how like apparently he's just asking AIs for financial advice on like what to invest in. And apparently it's working out for him, and he was talking about, the chat GPIs and shit. And I was just like, the hell? Chat GPI? Well, I mean, apparently it's making him money, so I don't know. I mean, apparently hired a financial advisor, $300 an hour, hired chat GPT, it's free. I don't know. I don't think I would take financial advice from an AI. Maybe I would take, like, maybe I would take some like general advice, maybe, right? I mean, I did ask ChatGPT if I was in the wrong on the highway, and it told me, yeah, you fucking were, you fucking idiot. And I was like, oh, okay. But I don't know, man. I think it's just, I think it's a little crazy to get financial advice from a bunch of fucking AIs. That's just my take. I don't know. But, yeah. So Monday was a bit of a brutal day. Also, I had to close. Usually we have 3 slicers open. But on that day, my coworker at one point, because I was slicing cheese on our cheese slicer, and he just decided to open our cheese slicer. I was like, oh, that's more work for me. So I had to close 4 slicers that day. And yeah, I got really lucky. Like he went to take his break, and I was like, I gotta close the fucking slicer. So I just started doing it, and I had no customers for like 20 minutes, and I just fucking speed ran that shit. Got it done. So that was cool. But like, I just closing 4 slicers, man. That was not easy. And then all his customers are fucking with us. And what's it called? Just generally, it was a fucking tough day. But I dealt with it. I got it done. And my throat is still kind of like a little fucked, if I'm being honest. Like, I haven't been wearing a mask anymore because like I don't really feel it anymore, but like I still feel that little bit of like cough in there sometimes, and I get like a little bit of phlegm, especially in the morning. I get phlegmy. I don't know. But let me drink some water so I try not to cough. Maybe I'm just dehydrated, I don't know. Yeah. So, I was gonna try to not make this super long, but kind of happened anyway. Unlucky, I guess. I don't know. So, I think, yeah. Oh, well, I also forgot to mention, because on Monday and Tuesday, we had the assistant store manager closing again. And he's been a little controlling of the deli, to be honest with you. And so, because he used to be a deli guy, he's been a little controlling of the deli. and he has been wanting us to like keep part of it open, like, because we have like other stuff that we can like serve, not just cold cuts, and he wants us to keep that open to like, you know, a couple minutes before closing, when before it used to be we close it at 9, we cover it at 9. And so yeah, it's a little rough, but doing it, you know, is what it is. The coworker and I have been kind of trying to figure out how to navigate that. But then also, yesterday, it was an interesting situation. Because, you know, Monday, I had to close the 4 slicers and everything, whatever. Yesterday, which was Tuesday, we had, well, I was, you know, doing my thing. I was doing some grab and goes. It got really busy, so I wasn't getting to do much, and I was, you know, about to start clean, or I was starting to clean a little bit. And then he came, the assistant manager, he came, and he was like, you guys know they're coming to clean the floor tonight, right? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're coming to clean the floor, okay. And he's like, they're also coming to clean the walls. I was like, oh, so you know what to do when they clean the walls? And we were like, no. And so we had to like move a bunch of stuff that's like kind of closer to the floor. We had to move a bunch of stuff. We just threw it in shopping carts, and we had to leave it on the sales floor. I don't know what happened today. I wasn't there today. But I can only imagine, like, you know, my one coworker's face. He comes in the morning at like 7, and he looks, he's just like, what? Why is all this stuff on the sales floor? What the hell happened? Like, why are there 5 shopping carts of just shit, of fucking our containers and shit? So, yeah. Interesting time, for sure. And I was also a little scared, because he said they could show up anytime from like 6 o'clock. They could start showing up at like 6 o'clock. I was like, if they show up at 6 o'clock, we're kind of fucked. Like, even if they go and do the other departments first, they're probably going to be there. Like, they're probably ready for us at like 7. So I was like, fuck, I got to start closing the slicers early. So I closed some of the slicers early. Unfortunately, it kind of slowed down, like, enough to where we didn't really need more than 1 slicer. But, like, you know, I was like, are we going to finish on time? And they didn't show up till like 8:30. So we finished on time. And they didn't even start our department until after we left. So it wasn't really that bad. But it was like kind of a moment of like, oh shit. Like, I gotta close this stuff like now. So, yeah. It was an interesting night, but I will say I'm getting very good at my job, generally speaking. I mean, I did cut myself with a knife, like a big knife, not just like a tiny little butter knife or something, like a fucking huge knife. I may or may not have cut myself because I was trying to cut some prosciutto, like 20 minutes after I got there on Thursday. I'm like cutting prosciutto for this customer that wants like 2 half-pound packages, and you have to cut the fat off. So I was trying to cut the fat off, and I didn't really get it in all the way, so it just kind of like came out, and then it fucking went right in the glove, right in my finger. And it wasn't bad, you know, it wasn't like a big cut or anything, but it was like bleeding. And so the assistant manager had to like take me around the store, basically. We were like, all right, so let's see what's in the first aid kit, because I was gonna buy Band-Aids, and he was like, no, you know, we have Band-Aids, we'll get you a Band-Aid. And it was like, okay, so there's nothing in the first aid kit in the deli. It's like, all right, we go to seafood. Seafood has the Band-Aids. They don't have any peroxide or anything. Then we go to the kitchen. We managed to get like some ointment, so that was like good enough. So he gave me like 3 Band-Aids and like 2 things of ointment. And so that was a whole thing. That was kind of fun though, to be honest. He also told me about, because I mentioned he's a deli guy. He told me like years and years and years ago when he was working in the deli, he sliced a tip of his finger off one day because somebody like moved the carriage that the slicer was on, and his finger went right into it. And I was like, damn. And I'm really hoping that by the end of this job, I don't end up like that. I hope I've got all my fingers, all my body parts. I hope everything is still okay by the time I leave this job. Whenever I leave this job, I don't know if it's gonna be in a couple months or a couple years. I have no idea. But it is just kind of like it was an interesting week for sure. But like it really just felt like I was working, because I kind of was. I did work. I've been working like a shitload. In the past week and a half, I've worked like 56 hours. So, I mean, not as much as probably some people, but I mean, not, still not nothing. And I will say also, because we usually get paid, I think we get paid on Tuesdays, but it doesn't show up for me until Wednesday in my account. And I looked at my account this morning and I was just like, oh my God. I looked at that shit. It was like, dude, that was the fattest paycheck I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. Like, usually I'm getting, like, I mean, I probably shouldn't even say, but I got like 125% more money than I usually do. I was like, dude, oh my God, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So, that was cool. I got a lot of money. But yeah, this is a lot of work. Tired, and I feel like I need to fix my brain. I really need to fix my brain. Stop watching YouTube videos and try to do more things that I actually want to do and care about. I was kind of thinking, I've been trying to come up with like thought exercises just for me to do, because I feel like that would actually be kind of helpful, just to be able to like write stuff down and like think about stuff. One thing I was thinking about is just writing down like the things I would want to do and just be like, well, I should do them. Like in terms of like hobbies and stuff, right? So it's like, oh, I want to play piano. I want to make videos. I want to, I don't know, do whatever. And it's like, well, these are things that I want to do. What is like preventing me from doing them? Maybe, I don't know. And think about that. I don't know. I want to find like some interesting thought exercises like that I can just write down like things and kind of like think about things. Because I think those are honestly kind of helpful. So, yeah. With that said, I think my throat's kind of at its limit here. I don't know. Throat is a little fucked up. I think maybe I just haven't drank enough water. I don't know. Where the hell I put the water over there. It's having that water. I don't know. But with that said, I guess I'm gonna end things here. I want to try to make more videos. I kind of have been slacking in that regard. I've just been doing these fucking weekly updates. And I have 2 videos that I've recorded and I haven't posted them yet. And I really gotta post them. It's been a little bit since I made that one. I gotta upload it. But I will have some extra time next couple days, so I think I'll try to do that. Try to get that done. I will say, part of me kind of misses the daily upload thing. But it's also like, I feel like some of those were really just like, I was phoning it in. So, I don't know. Kind of not sure. But, yeah. Either way, I guess I'm going to end this here. Go home, figure out what to do. I guess also part of it is like being at home kind of sucks for me right now. But I'll figure something out, I guess. I don't know. Try to maybe play some piano or something again tonight, or at least try to figure out a better setup for piano so that I'm not like fucking ruining my wrists for the sake of wanting to play a couple notes. So, yeah. Anyways, though, I guess I'm gonna end things here, but I need to. Oh man, Genesect raid hour. Yes! Finally, I'm gonna catch a Genesect in Pokemon Go. Oh, I definitely don't have like 30 of them, and they're all fucking pretty much useless. But yeah, I guess that's it.